What's going on, people? I'm Sean. Welcome to another edition of Nosy Neighbors, the fragrance channel for beginners, casual users, and the fragrance enthusiasts. Today I'm going to be providing you guys with a list for my top 5 most complimented scents for designers. Now, before we get into the actual list, I would be absolutely remiss without mentioning a honorable mention. Platinum Egoist by Chanel. No compliments were wasted on this fragrance at any time. The only reason why this did not make my list is the fact that I just don't reach for it enough. Always garners tons and tons and tons of compliments. Coming in at number 5, we got this fragrance. Thierry Mugler's Pure Havana. This fragrance is a flanker of another popular fragrance known as Amen by Thierry Mugler. This fragrance is a little bit different from the other fragrances within that line because where a lot of those fragrances kind of dial back or like have a background of patchouli and like some sweetness, this one, although it does have that patchouli, like that's toned down to where like I can't really detect it, and me and patchouli don't always get along. But this one right here was well blended, it's really nice, and garners tons and tons of compliments every time I've worn it. All right, and at number 4, we got Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. Just bottom line up front, this is an amazing, fresh, inviting scent. However, it does not last long at all, like on my skin. I get about, let's say, 2 to 3 hours projection at best, and about 5 to 6 hours longevity total. So this is one of the fragrances that you spray, although you get tons of compliments, you will probably find yourself like having to reapply this fragrance throughout the day. So a bit of a hit on it, but like for the first 2 hours that you spray this, oh man, like I found myself sniffing my arm and doing one of these numbers on a regular basis whenever I do actually wear this. This is one of the fragrances that I know that's kind of a waste. Like I find myself like reaching for this whenever I go to the gym, or I find myself going to a light outdoor function that I'm not going to be there all day. This is a really good dumb reach. This is one of the fragrances that I think the opposite sex is really attracted to this smell. And I think that can mainly be attributed to like that tonka bean that's in the bottom of this fragrance. Mixes very well with that burnt orange type smell at the top of the fragrance, and it just cools down to this lovely, inviting, fresh scent that people really tend to enjoy overall. And up next, we got this fragrance, Dior Intense. Clearly known for the fragrance community as just DHI. And this 2011 release right here has garnered me like more compliments than I can count. And this is, frankly, in my opinion, like this is mainly iris. There's like some lavender in the top, and it has this weird like chocolate or vanilla like accord in the bottom that is so sweet and alluring. The only way I can really describe this fragrance is like if you were in a room in which like people were eating chocolate and trying on makeup. I know that's strange, but that's what I get from this fragrance, as if like people are eating some type of dessert or like candy vibe, but like not in a cheesy way. It doesn't have the same, I guess, flexibility for usages. But whenever I do wear this fragrance, I get tons and tons of people that don't just compliment me, they like will follow me and they say, hey man, like what's that? And I'll tell them, like, hey, it's Dior Homme Intense. But number 2, we have this fragrance, Acqua di Gio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. And bottom line up front, with this fragrance, everybody, well, this is an assumption of mine, but most people have smelled the original, which is Acqua di Gio with the semi-clear or opaque bottle, right? This fragrance is the bigger brother version of that fragrance. So think that aquatic, fresh, like synthetic smell that you have when you were younger, which is the Acqua di Gio. Imagine that mixing in much more natural accords to include like black pepper and incense and that same fresh background that the original had, dialing down the aquatic notes quite a bit, and you have this fragrance in my mind, which is the complete upgrade. Last but certainly not least, we have this fragrance, which has garnered me more compliments than any other designer on this list or any other fragrance that I own. And that's immaterial whether or not I'm talking about designer or niche. My most complimented fragrance of all time is this simple designer frag, and it's this fragrance right here, White Musk for Men by Body Shop. You can find this fragrance for 20 to 25 bucks, and it has garnered me more compliments than any of these designers that I mentioned earlier, or the niche fragrances that I'm going to talk about in a follow-up video. This fragrance has garnered me the most compliments of my life. Yes, of my life. Despite this not being like the strongest projecting fragrance, this is one of those, you know, lean in fragrances that I'm always talking about on this channel, and people just fall in love with this fragrance. This is a floral, musky, like slightly sweet composition, and like immaterial of like what occasion that I'm wearing this fragrance, I've always garnered compliments wearing this fragrance. This fragrance is the most complimented fragrance that I own in my collection, and coincidentally is also one of the cheapest. Go figure, right? And there you guys have it. This has been my top 5 most complimented lists for designers. Stay tuned for a more updated list for niche and also more content to follow. Please like and subscribe. And as always, live good and smell well.